then I'm above it and not in it, and I have a much better probability of solving. That's a huge one. Number two is we talked earlier about being clear on what you want, but I also want to attach to that having a perspective as to why you want it.
This is the opportunity. Be greater than your fears. Be stronger than your doubts. Make your mind matter.
This is about not chasing somebody or replicating somebody or imitating somebody. This is about figuring out what you want.
So not only being very clear about what you want, but why you want it, and then ask yourself inside that question, how do I know when it's solved? What's my perspective? What's my evidence I need to know the problem was solved? Number two, so it's in writing. How do I know when it was solved? What evidence? What would need to happen? What do I exactly want? Why do I want it? And what's the evidence that it was solved? So that you will move past it. So that it's something that is now behind you, but more importantly, you are in front of it. Third is always remember decisions are made on probability. Once you've made that decision, right? What have we talked about? Flood yourself with certainty and take massive action. But all decisions are made on probability, meaning there's never a perfect plan. You may make a decision to solve a problem that doesn't work, but what we're trying to do is make a decision that gives us the highest probability of solving it. So make all your decisions based on probability, not perfection.
Misery. It will continue to do all that is necessary to succeed. Misery is on a mission to take everything away from you. Because your mind is very powerful. Bring in the goodness. Moving with a purpose. Conditioning your mind is what this is about. Today is that day. And when and if tomorrow comes for you, be even more powerful.
If you're sitting here waiting for the perfect solution, or if it doesn't work, or you've had any experience in your life when you tried to solve something and it didn't happen, you're setting up an unfair standard for yourself. Problem solving is about probability, so make sure you're making a decision that gives you the highest probability of solving it. And then fourth, all decisions need what I call like value clarity. Often you're going to have several results you could choose from to solve a problem, or there'll be several results when you solve the problem. And then you got to be clear about their order of importance. Sometimes one problem has 3 or 4 problems connected to it, or the solution of it will cause 3 or 4 different things. So it's getting clarity on importance level of solving the problem in its order. And then finally, I want to remind you of one thing on solving anything in your life, on making any change, whether it's solving a problem or just taking your life to a different level. In my opinion, it's always 75% psychology and 25% actual mechanics. And so I want you to be thinking about what you're thinking.
Be stronger than you've ever been. Rectify in yourself. Believe in yourself. Keep that faith in yourself. Don't let the outside interference stop your growth. Don't let those that doubted you and said that you did not have it hold you back. Don't let the losses keep you down. Because if you're down, how would you understand what it means to get up? What is good about being miserable? What is misery doing for you? What has misery done for you lately? Has it given you everything that you need? Has it made you a better person?
The pathway to the best solutions, the pathway to great change in our life is always 75% what I'd call psychology or thinking, and 25% of it is the actual physical execution of the problem. So when you're making the decisions, focus 75% on the psychology and the mindset, 25% on the execution. And I hope that helps you today with some very tactical steps. I don't know that I've ever laid out more tactics and steps in one thing because it's such an important topic. And I got to be honest with you. There's a great song Biggie Smalls had for years, more money, more problems, right? And the truth of the matter is, that's true. And so if you're thinking that the wealthier you get or the more successful you get, the fewer problems you're going to have, that's not the case. And all the people that are achieving in their life right now are nodding their heads across the world listening to this, because they would all tell you, and you could tell this too, you have more problems now than you did when you were a kid. Right now in your life, if you're at a higher level than you were 5 years ago, there are more frequent problems and sometimes even bigger problems as you progress in life. That's why it's so true that problems and challenges are an indication of progress.
What do you want? And then really growing to understand that, really beginning to form your own opinion. And it doesn't mean that you don't listen to other people. It doesn't mean that you don't sit at somebody's feet and learn from them. It simply means that the goal is not imitation. The goal is understanding. And when you go into learning something, knowing that that thing has utility, that when you get that skill, when you really understand that thing, what it's doing is giving you a brick that you're going to be able to build something with. But remember, the goal is the building. The goal is to create something that didn't exist before. And the only way to do that is to actually understand what you're doing. Mimicking the motions of somebody else will not allow you to create something that has never been before. It will not allow you to bring something into the world that has never before been seen. It will only allow you to replicate.
Read again. Still not getting it. Read again. But if you're not getting it, write it out. And that's how I started learning. Okay, well, I gotta write out everything I do. And then write it out again. And write it out again. And guess what happened? I got it. I can't swim. I'm negative buoyant. Go back again. Can't swim. Go back again. Go back again. Go back again. I got it. I realize if I keep going back and going back and going back until this just becomes, your mind will say, okay, we're going to figure it out, because he is not going to stop. It's not like I'm going to try one more time. No, it's just like alarm clock goes off, we're going back. I can't read right, we're going back.
Your goal in life isn't to be a copy machine. Your goal in life is to express yourself, to create things that only you can create, that your mind in this time period, with all the unique things that you've encountered, that you've learned, the connections that you've made, the way that you bring things together, that's never ever going to exist again. It's all you uniquely. That's your job in this life, is to build something from that place. But to do that, you actually have to understand what it is that you want. And as Erwin McManus said, there are few things more powerful than a life lived with passionate clarity. But that clarity only comes when you understand. It only comes when you take your time learning to really grasp the concept, to not read a book, to tell someone that you've read it, to not complete a task, to check it off a list. The goal is to actually understand how to use that thing. Knowledge isn't power. Used knowledge is power. Putting that to use to actually do something.
I gave myself no way out, and my mind realized that. It's okay. We're going to adapt and overcome now. Like when I say trying hard. your mind knows, man. It knows this guy's lying. There's no truth behind it. When I was in the Navy SEAL training, people go, how were you there for 18 months? The program was only 6 months long. You were in 3 helmets in 1 year. No one's ever done that. How did you do that? I told myself after the first time, I knew it was going to be a long journey there. My body was breaking down. It was just how it was going on. I said, you know what? This is my new norm. So my mind said, it's like going to work. Like you go to work, you put your suit and tie on. I go into suffering every day. Every day, suffering, being broken, duct taping my feet up, stress fractures, shin splints, being broken. This is my new norm. And your mind says, if we're not broken, this ain't normal.